Number 14, Caitlin Orwick. Number 15, Mary Leno. Number 16, Sarah Gaither. And number 23, Nicolette Falk. The Cardinals are coached by Bonnie Young and entered tonight's game with an overall record of 5-3-2. And now the starting lineup for your Elmhurst College Blue Jays. Starting in goal, number 29, Melinda Vickers. Number 2, Caitlin Allen. Number 4, Brianna Small. Number 6, Kelly Fredrickson. Number 9, Megan Hartz. Number 11, Shannon Pimmel. Number 17, Courtney O'Keefe. Number 18, Emily Heimerdinger. Number 19, Alyssa Angelo. Number 20, Megan McPherson. And number 24, Anna Garatano. The Blue Jays are coached by Paul Webster. Elmhurst enters tonight's game with an overall record of 6-5. Our officials for this evening's contest, Miguel Pandoro, Kyle Hannon, and Arlen Koshu.
Hello and welcome back to Elmhurst College and Langhorse Field. You're looking down as the Blue Jays and the Blue Jay women are going to take on North Central here. We already had one game today on this field. It was a little earlier today, started at 5 o'clock, and the Elmhurst men were victorious over North Central 1-0. A early second half goal was the difference as the Blue Jays shut out North Central and are able to get their first CCIW win of the season. We'll see if the Blue Jay women can get their first CCIW win of the season right here at Langhorse Field. Luke Tanaka on the call, delighted to bring you all the action from right here on the campus of Elmhurst College. We're just about to get started. Blue Jays will be in the pink today for breast cancer awareness, and representing that today, the Blue Jay keeper Melinda Vickers will be wearing the blue. They are on the right, going from right to left. North Central on the left with the red uniforms with the white stripe down the front, and then the purple keeper for the North Central Cardinals, Nikki Seiton. We are underway towards the near side. Elmhurst controlling. Pass was a little too far. It's going to roll all the way over the end line, and Seiton will have her first chance to boot one away as Elmhurst started possession here in this contest.
Hey, win it, girls, win it!
Blue Jays coming in with a record of 6-5, 0-2 in the CCIW thus far this season. Couple of shutout losses, first to Wheaton and then Augustana right here last Saturday. Lost 3-0 to Augustana after getting beat pretty good by Wheaton. Wheaton, a top 10 team in the country, one of the best teams in the nation. Certainly the favorite to win the CCIW championship, although I'm sure Augustana, Illinois Wesleyan, and a couple teams will try to have something to say about that. As the Blue Jays are controlling. Gartano is not quite going to get to that one, and Seiton will once again boot it away. Good. The first minute, though, nice possession for the Blue Jays here. Coming into this contest, they're actually have dominated this series, North Central. 17-1 overall in the series against these Cardinals in the 18 times they've played, this being the 19th matchup between the two teams. The only loss actually was the last time the teams played here, the only time the Blue Jays had lost to the Cardinals in this series, and that was a 2-0 loss here at Langhorse Field the last time they played on this field in 2012. Here's Gartano controlling on the near side. This ball is going to be lifted up, maybe a chance for Megan Hart to run it down, but a couple of North Central defenders are converging. Defender will smartly play it out. That was Hannah Magera on the near side, conceding possession, but not allowing Hart to get a chance towards the goal. So Fredrickson will throw it in. It finds the head of Megan Hart towards the goal, and a nice play by the keeper, Seiton, to make sure it's out of harm's way. As for the North Central Cardinals, 5-3-2 on the year, 2-0 in the CCIW. Couple of good wins. Their last one, they played North Park, and they beat North Park last Saturday. Rebecca Senden scored twice, and Noella Reyes tallied 3 assists in that game, assisted on 3 of the North Central goals, 3 out of their 4, in a 4-2 win. Blue Jays intercepting a pass on the far side, trying to come towards the near side. It was a nice pass. That one's a little behind Gartano, but still fighting for it. Was number 17, O'Keefe. Here's O'Keefe on the near side with a chance. O'Keefe trying to swing one into the box. It's going to go past Megan McPherson. Not sure if it was a cross attempt or a shot attempt. McPherson was trailing, so perhaps it was a shot attempt that just could have gone to McPherson, but instead it'll go over the far end line. McPherson for the Blue Jays, leading the team in goals. McPherson has 5 on the season. She had a stretch of 2 or 3 games where she scored a ton, including 2 against MSOE. Other goal leaders for the Blue Jays, Emily Heimerdinger and Megan Hart, both have 3. They certainly have to watch for McPherson and Heimerdinger in the middle. Heimerdinger here to the near side, number 17. Or excuse me, Heimerdinger will be number 18. That's O'Keefe, the midfielder on the near side. Heimerdinger playing on the right side behind McPherson right now. Gartano and McPherson, the 2 forwards in the lineup. As that's a defender, Caitlin Allen, playing back for Melinda Vickers. Melinda Vickers, starting keeper for the Blue Jays. 15 goals allowed on the season, 1.51 goals against average, with 43 saves and 3 shutouts to her credit. Good pressure there by Megan Hart, and now the ball is taken away by McPherson, but then eventually given back over the far sideline for a Cardinal throw-in. As for the goalkeeper on the other side, Nikki Seiton played more games than Vickers has, given up 19 goals. Seiton being the main goalie for the Cardinals. The Blue Jays have shuffled through a couple of goalkeepers, including Emily Gordon, who has played a couple games on the season already. She's played 3. Melinda Vickers playing 11. Nikki Seiton for the Cardinals playing 9 games this year for the Cardinals. She's got a 2.02 goals against average, 57 saves, 3 shutouts. North Central working their way up the field with a couple of throw-ins. Throwing it out on the near side, that'll be number 23, Nicolette Folk. Offensive players to watch for the Cardinals, Rebecca Senden and Emily Gaither both have 5 goals apiece. Noella Reyes and Caitlin Orweck have 3 assists apiece. Reyes got all 3 of her assists in that game against North Park we were talking about earlier. She had 3 assists in 1 game, and now she's one of the team leaders on the season. That ball is taken away. This is Senden. Senden on the near side, one of the leading goal scorers. Puts one into the box, hanging around dangerously to the feet of another North Central player. The shot is shanked slightly. That was number 10, Emily Gaither. As we look at the replay right here, he's going to send a ball into the box. Elmhurst could not have cleared initially. Went to the feet of Gaither, took a shot, but it shanked it a little bit and just dribbled towards Vickers, who was able to scoop it up. Just 1 shot apiece for each team. 1 save on that attempt from Gaither, and the save made by Vickers. The other conference game North Central has played is a 2-1 overtime win against Carthage. Gartano will chase this one, and the goalkeeper gives it right to her. Gartano's going to take a shot, and a beautiful save after a really rough mistake by the keeper. That's a great play by Seiton. As we'll watch it on the replay, Seiton was probably trying to just play it back to her defense, but instead the ball goes straight to Gartano. She takes a touch, tries to flip it over the head of the Seiton, but Seiton's able to extend her hand as far as she can and is able to save it. What a interesting sequence of events there, but Seiton able to save herself as the corner comes in. It's headed around a little bit, but then over the far sideline. I believe that was Angelo on the header. And so the Blue Jays, the first real good scoring opportunity of this game, and it comes at about the 38-30 mark with 38 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first half, just 7 minutes into the game. Certainly a good chance that the Blue Jays might be thinking about it if it's a one-goal game later in the contest. Elmhurst defense hanging around, that was Caitlin Allen, looking for O'Keefe, but it ended up going to McPherson anyway. McPherson, transfer senior, some good moves, and then able to keep the ball in her control. Looking for Shannon Pimmel. Didn't find her, but found another player on the far side. That's Bree Girardi. Now North Central battling, one of North Central's midfielders battling with Megan Hart. Hart's going to win it, but it's going to win it right back to a North Central player. They'll send the ball right back up, and here's Alyssa Angelo with the Elmhurst defense playing around midfield. Certainly a place they're going to want to be playing the whole time, as that's a foul on Emily Heimerdinger. She pushed it right into the back of Carly Jo Hitz. As we'll see here on the replay, just a little bit of contact. Hitz flew forward and able to gain possession back for the Cardinals, but it's given right back on that free kick. This is Heimerdinger on the far side, looking for Gartano. Goes off a North Central player and over the end line, or excuse me, the sideline, for an Elmhurst throw-in. Blue Jays are looking to stop a 3-game losing streak in this game. They, as we mentioned earlier, they lost last Saturday 3-0 to Augustana, as that ball is won by North Central. The Vikings of Augustana struck immediately with a goal in the 2nd minute, never really looked back. They scored again in the 26th, and then later in the 86th minute to seal a 3-0 victory. And a tough couple of games for the Blue Jays to start off this conference season. So a win here against North Central would be huge for them and their confidence going forward in the conference. Certainly if they have any hopes of making the conference tournament, this is a must-win for them. North Central sitting pretty at 2-0, but the meat of the CCIW comes up next for them. So certainly a chance to go 3-0, and that's a great opportunity to get yourself in a good position in the conference, as North Central looking to scrape away their first good scoring opportunity. This one is cleared by Angelo upfield. Now Gartano going to chase it, trying to beat the North Central defense. But North Central does well to control the ball, and now will look to bring possession back up. That pass connection. That was Sarah Gaither trying to connect with Carly Jo Hitz, unable to do so. A couple of sisters on this sister set on this North Central team. Emily Gaither, a forward, 5'8" freshman, and Sarah, I suppose twin sister, 5'4" freshman as well, midfielder. Sarah's got 1 assist on the season for 1 point. Emily, on the other hand, has 5 goals and an assist for 11 points on the season, playing in the forward position. Ball won on the far side by the Blue Jays. Being played back towards the Blue Jay defense and then back up. Looking for possibly another mistake from the North Central defense to take advantage of. It will not come here, as it's well played by the North Central midfield and controlled until it's kicked away to Fredrickson. Fredrickson looking to find Heimerdinger, but she couldn't control the high pass. North Central will control on the far side once again with just under 34 minutes to play in this first half. As we mentioned earlier in the day, North Central men came here to face the Elmhurst men, and the Elmhurst men's soccer team was victorious. A 1-0 win. Second half goal propelled the Blue Jays to that win, so we'll see if the Elmhurst women can do something similar here. Get out in front and then hold that lead. Couple of Blue Jays circling, where this ball is played out. Bree Girardi will have a throw-in on the far side. Excuse me, make that Brianna Small, I should say. Starting right back for the Blue Jays. Small played 11 games on the season. has 2 assists to her credit thus far. Early minutes, no score, 3 shots for Elmhurst. 1 shot for North Central so far. Both teams have just 1 shot on goal. Hustling towards the near side is O'Keefe, but she couldn't quite catch up with that one. North Central will throw it in. We'll give you the starters really quick. For Elmhurst, defender number 2, Caitlin Allen, and Brianna Small will join her on the defense. She's number 4. Fredrickson as well on the back line for the Blue Jays. She's number 6. Megan Hart, midfielder, number 9. Number 11, Shannon Pimmel, also a midfielder. Courtney O'Keefe patrolling the near side, number 17 in the midfield. Emily Heimerdinger, forward but playing more of a midfield role in this formation they're playing right now. You'd see her. She's more up the field on the right, playing behind McPherson, who is a forward. Alyssa Angelo joining the defense. Anna Gartano, the left forward, and then Melinda Vickers in goal. As for North Central, Nikki Seiton is the goalkeeper. She's a sophomore. Noella Reyes, who had 3 assists in North Central's last win. Number 6, she plays the midfield. As Elmhurst is controlling here, looking for another scoring opportunity. This is Brianna Small on the far side, lifting one into the box. Seiton's not going to be able to get it. It goes just over the head of one Blue Jay and then is kept in well by O'Keefe, but right to Seiton. It was Megan Hart who almost was able to get her head to that. It went just over her head. And a dangerous cross by Brianna Small. And another good scoring opportunity for the Blue Jays. It's been impressive the kind of possession that the Blue Jays have had thus far. We'll see if they can keep it up. About 15 minutes into this first half. Still no score between the Blue Jays and the Cardinals here at Langhorse Field. As McPherson and Pimmel kind of running into each other, and it ends up at the feet of the Cardinals. And Sarah Gaither on the near side, who lost it but is able to win the throw-in for the Cardinals. We'll keep going through those starters for you for North Central. Hannah Magera is a midfielder. Rebecca Senden, also a midfielder, along with Carly Jo Hitz, numbers 7, 8, and 9 for the Cardinals. Emily Gaither, number 10, is a forward. She's one of the leaders in points for the Cardinals. 5 goals, 1 assist on the season for 11 points. Amy Gerald, a defender. Kaylin Orwick is a forward, 5'7" junior. He's number 14. Number 15, Marileno, as this is McPherson chasing it. The defender, Gerald's going to get there first, and she's going to just play McPherson off the ball. And she wins it. Good job by Gerald to shield off the smaller McPherson. Other players for the Cardinals, Sarah Gaither, number 16, twin sister of Emily. And then Nicolette Folk is the midfielder. Seiton in goal for the Cardinals, as the Blue Jays have had a lot of possession in the north central half of the field. We'll see if that continues. 29 minutes and change remaining in this first half. No score, but a couple of good scoring opportunities for Elmhurst. Nothing too promising for North Central quite yet, as that ball is lifted towards Seiton, but it's going to go out of play before she's able to field it.
Hey, win it now, win it, girls!
I believe it was Heimerdinger with the shot. Headed by the Blue Jays, but controlled by North Central here on the far side. Still controlled by the Elmhurst defense, but McPherson was able to cut off any other pass towards the defense, and so North Central will have to go forward with it. Well played by Senden to get around Megan Hart. Her pass looked like one of the North Central players knew she was offside, and so instead backed off. Flag probably would have gone up from the near side, but regardless, North Central keeping possession here. Couple of players colliding on the far side. The field is still probably a little bit wet from the rain we've had earlier today and yesterday, so keep that in mind, as might be smart for some of these players just to take a shot somewhere near the keeper to see if the ball skid past them. Shannon Pimmel heading to the far side, and Heimerdinger, who will play it back to Small and then clear it upfield. Anna Gartano in a foot race with a couple of defenders. Is Gartano going to get there first? No, she's not. Well played by the defense, but then given right back. Here's Heimerdinger towards the middle. Heimerdinger takes a shot with her left foot that is saved by Seiton. Couple of shots in a row for Emily Heimerdinger. This one just takes away a tough dribble and then takes the shot before the defender Orwick could converge. Lots of possession for the Blue Jays. Couple of shots, couple of good looks as well. The Blue Jays doing very well to keep possession here. Here's Senden racing towards the near side, but she's going to lose it over the near end line. North Central playing back to the defense and then straight up, but Caitlin Allen, always be playing a couple of steps behind her other defenders, is there. Playing more of a sweeper role. Here's Megan Hart, though. Megan Hart with a couple of targets. She tries to go to Gartano, but well played by Hannah Magera. Midfielder playing more of a defensive role, it seems, thus far in this game, and now the ball is cleared right back up towards her. Magera will lose it to Gartano. Will she? No, it looks like it was far enough and played well enough to Mary Lano so that it wasn't straight to Gartano. Looked like Gartano might have had a chance at it. Perhaps the Elmhurst forward could have taken it off the turf and perhaps gotten a shot off. Couldn't quite do so. Taken away by Fredrickson. Fredrickson looking up, looking for a target. She tries to find McPherson, but the pass is behind her. Unable to spring the offense on that one. Possibly if she played that down the line, there was a defender there, but if she get it past the defender, McPherson could have been off and running. Perhaps able to swing one into the box towards the taller Anna Gartano. North Central showing some fight, showing some possession here, but it's given away there. Just under 25 minutes to play in this first half, almost halfway through. Still no score. 5 shots for the Blue Jays, just 1 for the Cardinals. But that one Cardinal shot was indeed on goal. Elmhurst has 2 of their 5 shots that have found the target. We'll have a North Central sub. Noella Reyes will head out. Looks like number 21, Kaylee Michalik, will be the one to replace her on the defensive side. There she is battling with Alyssa Angelo, and now off to the races is one Cardinal. It's going to be, the clearing attempt is going to be blocked right off that Cardinal. It was Emily Gaither. Cleared all the way to Melinda Vickers, who will have a chance to put this one away. Pimmel whiffed on the header, but it ended up going straight off the North Central player to Alyssa Angelo. Heimerdinger will track that one down near the Elmhurst bench, which is currently empty at the moment as the players are warming up on the far side. I'd want to run if I was out there too. Stay warm. Although they do have those very nice soccer jackets meant for these slightly brisk conditions. We are probably in the low 50s outside. It is not raining at the moment, but it rained a lot the last couple of days. first really, say, big rainstorm we've had in the Elmhurst area since we've been back on campus. Megan Hart looking to the far side, and Heimerdinger controls it well. Weaving through a couple of defenders, looking for Gartano, but well played by the defender, Megara. Megara still with it, looking for an open target, finds the near side. That's Folk. But her clearing attempt is a little wide, and we'll have 3 Elmhurst subs coming in at this moment. Heimerdinger will head out, Pimmel will go out, and Gartano will also exit. It's going to be Kim Stanzik, number 13, will come in. She'll come in for Shannon Pimmel, I believe. The new forward is Jackie Belmonte. She's in for Gartano. And then Bree Girardi will fill in the far side midfield role, perhaps a little bit of more of a defensive midfielder type player. As she fills in for the Blue Jays and comes in also. Here's Belmonte, first action she's seen since coming on the field just a couple moments ago. Here she is again on the far side, being sprung by a nice pass from Girardi. Belmonte will swing one into the box. It's just over the head of McPherson. When I say just, I mean by a couple of feet, as we'll check on the replay. Good pass for Belmonte on the far side, then trying to lift it into the box. Perhaps looking for O'Keefe. It was a little too far for her. Perhaps just overshooting McPherson, one of the two. It's kind of in between the two Elmhurst players. Neither of them were able to get a good touch on it. So the ball was cleared, but not all the way out, and now it will go out. As Alyssa Angelo gets a head on it, but pops it straight in the air. Battling for it is the freshman number 13, Stanzak, a midfielder, 5'8" freshman from Batavia. Playing in just her 9th game of the season. This is the Elmhurst 12th game. She didn't play much to begin the season, but has since impressed the Blue Jay head coach Paul Webster into seeing some time on the field. And here is Gaither on the far side battling with Brianna Small, the defender. Small does well. Turn and fire back upfield for Girardi, and then help Girardi out when she needs it. Little pass back and then a clear. And now the Blue Jays will have a throw in their defensive half on the far side. No score between the Cardinals and the Blue Jays. 20 minutes remain in this first half. Still sitting on 5 shots for Elmhurst and 1 for North Central. We'll go through the CCIW standings for you. North Central sits at atop the conference along with Wheaton at 2-0. Wheaton 11-1-1 on the season. North Central 5-3-2. Logjam at 1-1. 4 teams tied. Illinois Wesleyan, Carthage, Augustana, and North Park all at 1-1 in the conference. 2 0-2 teams are Elmhurst and Milliken. Other games in the CCIW today, Wheaton travels up north to face Carthage, while North Park heads south to face Illinois Wesleyan. So you have a free kick on the near side. A couple of North Central players around it. Nicolette Folk, who has taken the majority of the free kicks, but this time it will be Folk. Sendin runs over it. Here's a header shot. Couldn't quite get a lot on that. It was an easy save for Vickers. I believe it was 10, it was Gaither. And as we saw in the replay, it just bounced into the arms of Vickers. Nothing too dangerous, but still a very nicely swung ball into the box. Just couldn't quite get enough pace on the header to give Vickers any trouble. Fredrickson's clearing attempt is blocked, but then O'Keefe gathers it and then just springs it forward, but McPherson was nowhere to be found. McPherson is switched with Belmonte. Belmonte now playing the right forward position. McPherson more towards the left forward position. McPherson originally playing on the right side, as Girardi came in for Heimerdinger to play behind Belmonte as a midfielder and perhaps more of an attacking midfielder role for her. Just under 18 minutes to play in this first half. No score, Blue Jays and Cardinals. Cardinals just had their second shot of the game on that header shot that bounced into the arms of Vickers, but both shots have been on goal. Elmhurst with only 2 shots on goal, but 5 total shots. They've had the majority of the possession and the majority of the good looks thus far in this first half. North Central done well, I'd say, in the last 15 minutes or so to have a lot more possession. Keep it out of their own half and give their defense a little bit of a breather. O'Keefe's attempt goes off of a North Central defender. Belmonte and McPherson doing a little X with themselves. Belmonte wants to be the target for the throw-in. She was, but it was cleared by Falk. Fredrickson the one to throw it in. McPherson hanging out in the box. Couple defenders around Belmonte. That header gets thrown in the air. Now O'Keefe will try to control, and there she is looking for McPherson. It's a good pass. Could McPherson bring it down and take a shot? She hits it with her head and couldn't quite get the shot away. Good idea there by Courtney O'Keefe, trying to just swing it into the box for McPherson to see if maybe she could bring it down with her feet, potentially have a shot at the goal. She was behind her 2 defenders that were marking her, but couldn't quite bring the ball down enough to get a shot away. Now North Central looking to counter. Far side, that's Michalek. Job by Angelo, but couldn't quite clear it. Michalek still controlling, and now Small and Angelo converge, and Small's able to win it, and she'll just throw it outside the far sideline for a North Central throw-in. We'll see what North Central does with this. Going to throw it towards Michalek, but it's going to go too far to the right and over the end line. Vickers will have to run and chase this one to kick it away. North Central sub into the game. Morgan Geiser seeing her first action, midfielder and defender. Freshman from Freeport. There's Elmhurst looking for a good opportunity. O'Keefe to Belmonte. Back to Stanzik, then Belmonte with it at her feet. Belmonte looking for O'Keefe on the near side. She's got it. O'Keefe looking to swing one into the box. Here it comes. It's deflected off a North Central player, and it'll roll over the end line for a corner. Looking for possibly for Megan Hart, possibly for Megan McPherson, who is also in the middle. A couple of Blue Jays converging on the net. Instead, it's going to be Belmonte the one to take this corner kick. McPherson playing an interesting place. We'll see if she gets into effect. Now she's going to run towards the near post. The ball comes in. It's shot on, and it's still in the box, and then cleared over by Stanzik. I think the initial shot it looked like it almost went off a knee. It might have actually been Caitlin Allen. I believe it was Caitlin Allen who came in from the far post, put a knee to it, put it on goal. Nice save by Seiton. Perhaps it was blocked as well. And then the next shot by the freshman Kim Stanzak was just over the bar and through the uprights that line the bar on the top side. As here's Belmonte, who rips a shot at Seiton, and she scores! Jackie Belmonte puts the Blue Jays on the board. We're just talking about Kim Stanzak, who missed that last opportunity. Well, she gets the assist on this one. Just like the Blue Jay men did, the Blue Jay women have a 1-0 lead. Defender falls down and Belmonte is controlling again. Possibly looking for more. She'll try to find Jordan Clark, who has checked into the game for the Blue Jays. Could not do so, and now North Central looking to counter. That's a dangerous pass that is cleared well by Allie Kitely, who has also just checked into the game after that goal.
Elmhurst goal scored by number 10, Jackie Belmonte. Assisted by number 13, Kim Stanzik.
Here's Jordan Clark trying to swing one into the box towards Belmonte. Couldn't quite do it. It'll be Bree Girardi. Stanzik was calling for a cross attempt, but Girardi couldn't quite get it away. So the Blue Jays on the board, 1-0. Their 8th shot of the game goes in. It was a nice shot by Belmonte for about 15 yards out. As this ball is chased on by Vickers and eventually picked up by her. Allie Kitely was there to help her just in case. Mari Gregnani also into the game for the Blue Jays, playing on the near side in the midfielder role. A good job by Elmhurst to get ahead, and that's I believe the first time they've led since they defeated MSOE on the road on September 23rd. Since then, they've lost 4-1 to Rhodes, 5-0 to Wheaton, and 3-0 to Augustana. So the Blue Jays on the board first, 11.5 minutes to play in this first half. And North Central hasn't really had the possession to create offensive opportunities. Now the Blue Jays possibly looking for more. It's the substitute Belmonte, looking for Girardi on the far side. Girardi still controlling, looking for an open target. We'll play it all the way back to the defender, Caitlin Allen. We'll chip it on towards Allie Kitely on the near side. Kitely looking for targets, but Sendin catches up with her. So Kitely will instead have to throw it in from the near side. One to nothing Elmhurst. The goal, Jackie Belmonte from Kim Stanzak just a few minutes ago. Foul, and the ball is given to North Central. Nicolette Folk swinging it forward, looking for Morgan Geyser. Is unable to connect, but they do indeed win another throw-in. So Folk will once again have a chance, perhaps looking for Geyser again. Geyser running towards the ball. She will look for her. It's won by Gregnani. Kicked in the air by Kitely, and then Jordan Clark. Will she get there first? No, she won't, but it's headed on towards Stanzak. Stanzak runs through one defender, then has her pass to Jackie Belmonte picked off. This is Geyser taking a long shot. Vickers is just able to get a hand on it and push it away, but that means North Central will have a throw-in. It's Morgan Geyser, number 18, the one to take the shot. You can see here, she gets the ball. Nice turn and pass by her teammate to get her going, and then I don't know if Vickers knew if that was going to go wide or not, but smart just to pat it away anyway. Now Nicolette Folk quickly running towards the corner kick. Maybe she didn't know she would be the one to take it. She has taken a lot of the free kicks before. Not sure I've seen somebody run that fast for a corner kick thus far this season. This is headed towards the box. It's brought down by one North Central player and then eventually kicked in. So North Central equalizes. We'll check it out on the replay. It's just kind of bouncing around towards the net and then eventually just knocked in. I believe it was 21 Kaylee Michalik, and then just for emphasis, number 13 Jory Pilafis was there as well. So North Central quickly equalizes, but now Elmhurst has a chance to take the lead. Gregnani will take a shot that is wide. Perhaps she had a little bit more time. take a couple extra dribbles. As you see, there's Gregnani. Perhaps had a chance to take one more dribble to give herself a better look, but instead she tried to chip it with the left foot, and it went wide. So now all of a sudden the pace has picked up a little in this game, and we've had a couple of more chances for each team. 13th shot of the game. Elmhurst has 9 of them. But 4 shots on goal apiece, 1 goal apiece. Just over 8 minutes to play in this first half. That was Brianna Small who had it taken away. Small back on after the last goal. Jordan Clark now the one for Elmhurst chasing it. But it's won by a North Central defender, and then Clark kicks it over the end line, and Sighton will have a chance to clear. 1 goal apiece, couple of late goals in the latter third of this first half. Blue Jays scored first. It was Jackie Belmonte, but then Kaylee Michalik was the one to equalize. Very important game for both teams. For the Blue Jays, a chance to get back into a conference tournament discussion at least. You got to figure that if you lose this game, it's probably not looking pretty when you're 0-3 trying to climb back into the conference. Somebody was offsides as the far side referee has his flag up about 35 yards away from the goal, so North Central will have a free kick. For North Central, it's a chance to go 3-0. A chance to really propel yourself into some discussion, especially if you can get a win over one of the big 4 in the conference. Their 2 wins over Carthage and North Park. They could get a win over one of the 3, Augustana, Illinois Wesleyan, or Wheaton. And they'd really, or even a draw, I suppose, in 1 or 2 of those games. That'd be a couple of huge results for them. But to go 3-0 in the conference, and you certainly can't say they wouldn't be a part of the conference tournament discussion at that point. For the Blue Jays, all about getting back on track. 0-2 in the conference, 6-5 overall, 3-game losing streak, but a win here would go huge for their confidence and huge for a really mathematical conference tournament discussion. That's headed on well to Jordan Clark. It's a little behind her, so she couldn't run with it. That one's ahead of Gregnani. And Folk will be the one to restart play as North Central has tried to up the tempo of this game a little bit, and it's worked for them. They've had a lot more possession. Morgan Geyser. That ball is clearing attempt is cleared right off of Jory Palafis. So we look at this. Geyser looked like she had a good opportunity to get the ball to Palafis, but her first touch was a little too far. It was defended well by Brianna Small on the far side. That one brought down by the Elmhurst defense. Another attempt to put it back into the box. It's whiffed on by one Elmhurst player and then eventually cleared by Caitlin Allen. It's always there to back up her fellow defenders if they so happen to miss on a clearing attempt. Here's Jackie Belmonte fighting with Amy Gerald on the far side for the ball, and now given up to Hannah Magera. Played back to the Elmhurst defense, but Gregnani just being a sort of pest out there as in the forward position, able to cause a little bit of trouble, but not quite enough. Now Brianna Small with under 5 minutes to play in this first half. That ball's cleared, and we'll have another sub, this time for the Blue Jays. It's just one. Alyssa Angelo is going to be the one to sit, get a little extra time before the half. To rest, it'll be 15, Sydney Zeig, the defender, coming to play in left back, and Allie Kitely will play center back more towards the right. That ball's lifted into the box by Stanzik, gobbled up easily by Sighton. 1-1, 2 late first half goals in this one for either team. Jackie Belmonte for the Blue Jays and Kaylee Michalik for the Cardinals. Last year when these two teams played, it took overtime to decide the contest. North Central scored the first goal. Hope Stayer was the one to put the Cardinals on the board, but then the Blue Jays equalized late in the game with just about 5 minutes to go. Anna Gartano was the one to equalize for the Blue Jays, and then Kat Waugh was the one to get the unassisted game winner in overtime. As we mentioned before, the Blue Jays have only lost once to North Central in the entire series. That's 18 games. The Blue Jays 17-1. Their only loss came right here in 2012, the last time they played at Langhorse Field. Jordan Clark seeing some good minutes on the field, that time heading it back for Brianna Small, who's had to battle with a couple of defenders and eventually won the ball. Caitlin Allen clearing it up, looking for Clark. Clark's first touch is a little too far away. Girardi will try to help her out, and instead it's going to be Belmonte the one to take it. Now springing Clark on the far side. Clark has a target in the middle. It's Shelby Stone. We'll see if she can get it to her. It goes into the box over the head of Mari Grignani. Then Stanzik's the one to pick it up. Sydney Zeig trying to keep it alive for the Blue Jays. She does with 2.5 minutes. The Blue Jays showing some sense of urgency here, trying to score before the half. Here's Grignani. Almost has it taken away, and instead will just chip a ball towards Sighton. Nobody really there for the Blue Jays, but perhaps just a last-ditch effort to put a shot on net, as she had a little bit of an opening, and a lot of defenders were converging. Shelby Stone looking, down goes an Elmhurst player. It was Jordan Clark. Feet got tangled up with one of the defenders, that was Caitlin Orwick. More of a midfielder, I'd say. That time, Shelby Stone goes down, and Elmhurst is awarded the free kick on the foul with 1.5 minutes to go in the first half. Kaylin Allen placing it just about 4 yards past midfield. Takes this kick, it goes through everybody, and Jordan Clark couldn't quite make it to the ball. It skipped pretty quickly on the wet, fast surface of the turf. Was able to get all the way to Sighton before Jordan Clark had a chance to put her foot on it. Kaylin Allen clearing it up, 1 minute remaining, and Shelby Stone is all alone. Shelby Stone with defenders converging. She couldn't quite get herself to control the ball and move quickly. Under 1 minute to play. Here in this first half. Shelby Stone couldn't quite, as you saw in the replay, keep it down and keep her legs moving to keep the breakaway on. Defenders were able to converge quickly and well. Here's Senden trying to keep the ball in, couldn't quite do it. But with under 30 seconds to go, that pretty much negates a chance for either team to score here in the remainder of this first half. Now down to 12 seconds and 10 seconds to go. Possibly one last gasp for the Blue Jays before they get into halftime. Here's Belmonte with 5, and it gets taken away by Folk in the waning seconds of this first half run away, and that will be the half. So we're tied at 1. 10 shots for Elmhurst, 4 for North Central, 5 on goal for Elmhurst, but all 4 of North Central's shots have been on goal. They were very impressive in the last 20 minutes, I'd say, was North Central, keeping a lot of possession. The Blue Jays held the possession for most of that half, but we're at a goal apiece on BlueJayTV.com. We'll be back with the second half right after this.
I was born and raised in Taiwan and moved here 9 years ago. I'm always the type of person that wants to hang out with other people and meet new people. And because the Elmhurst environment, everyone is so friendly, that just make me feel really comfortable being here. The very first organization I joined was the Alpha Sigma Phi fraternity, and that opened the gate out for me to join other organizations.
Playing college football 4 years is very tough, but it's also very, very rewarding. Through Fellowship of Christian Athletes at Elmhurst College, I think has really helped me grow because, I wasn't the most outgoing guy in the beginning, but as my time went on, just meeting new people, I've kind of stepped out and became, more of a witness in my faith. I think, Fellowship of Christian Athletes has helped that, and I think Elmhurst College has encouraged that.
Elmhurst College definitely helped me grow, as in it made it clear to what I wanted to do. It definitely helped build me as the person that I am now. Lambda Chi also had, a great significance in that, turning me from a young dude to a gentleman and to a man. And Elmhurst College, definitely the campus, the atmosphere, the culture, the teachers here, the community itself, it was huge. And I think without Elmhurst College, I wouldn't be prepared for the real life.
Well, I think something I'm very passionate about is Habitat for Humanity. So we fundraise lots of money to go down to New Orleans and just help rebuild anywhere we can. Something that the locals there always tell us is just make sure you tell the story and make sure everyone back home knows that it's still not okay. And of course I'm getting more mature and stuff, but I think it's the whole community service aspect of my life that has really changed. A lot of my friends I met through Habitat, the more you're involved in, the more you're going to learn and just get to meet lots of people.
Was born in Elmhurst, moved to Wheaton when I was 3 or 4, and came back here for school. I felt that Elmhurst really did give me a chance in knowing what to expect, and it really broke me out of my shell and got me to know people better and to become more involved in general. I have a much broader view, a much greater respect for what else is out there.
One thing I really appreciate about Elmhurst College is the diversity of mindset, both with the students and with the faculty. I had all these constructs of how the world was supposed to work or how the world did work in my head before I came to Elmhurst and before I attended college. And then slowly as I entered the academic world and the social spheres at Elmhurst, I began to realize the multi-dimensional facets of these spheres and how nothing is really as straightforward as you think it to be when you first enter college. And I think that really helped me expand my worldview. Even though we're all so diverse, there are common threads that we may share in our tradition. You find it and it's there.
My Elmhurst experience, it has helped me already grow hugely as a person and be more aware of myself and my beliefs and my values and what I want to do, what I want to be, where I want to go. And I think that my experience here has put me in touch with a lot of people that can help me get there. Even if it is after I graduate, I feel like they're behind me. So I think that that's really a strength that this school has.
Outside of the classroom, I play for the softball team. I am a member of the J-Lights hip hop dance team. And I'm a member of Black Student Union. I know for sure that BSU is very welcoming to new people of all different kind of backgrounds. BSU has helped me to increase my networking skills a lot. It's a small school that can give you the resources of a big school as well as the individual time that you need that only a small school can give you.
I think that we attract so much attention because of the quality of the education we're getting here. They definitely try to bring the professionalism into the classroom. The faculty are incredible and they're still in the business, which is great for music people. It's nice to take classes and take lessons from teachers that are still performing. You know, music is really a universal language. Being in the performing ensembles was one of the great experiences being here.
Being at Elmhurst definitely makes it easier to get involved if you take the initiative to get involved. When I was a first year, I didn't take that step forward until second semester, and I didn't know what to do with myself. But once I took that step forward, people are so welcoming, and it doesn't matter what you want to get involved in. If you want to, they'll let you. And it's with open arms, and it's really easy to, and no one's going to turn you down. And that's what I liked about it so much, and that's what helped me to expand and broaden my horizons with all my different activities. Last year we had all of our girls leave except me and another girl, so we kind of got put into our captain positions. And it's not that I didn't want to do it, but I didn't know if I was ready to take that leadership role yet. But because I was thrown into it, I had to do it. So it helped me as a person and to help lead the dance team and be in control. I mean, it's difficult sometimes, no doubt about it. It's very stressful sometimes, but I probably, as much as I complain about it, I probably wouldn't change it for the world because it's making me who I am today.
Elmhurst College is unique in so many ways.
Here we really do have values, and my professors know the values, and they push me to be those values.
Stewardship and faith and community and service, and it really does bring in kind of a level of just interaction with values that you never got before.
But as you kind of develop yourself over the years, you start to realize these values mean so much more, and you start to uncover the true meaning behind them.
You begin to see equivalencies between your life and the school, and then you discover that you're not just in a place of learning, you're also in a place of growing, you're in a place of maturity and value exactly that, core values.
Intellectual excellence means allowing our minds to grow in ways that we've never thought they could before. It means exploring those new pathways, seeing how we could do things different. It means stepping outside of our box of what we know and what we're comfortable with and taking those risks to really grow and make things better. I think that's really the core of what intellectual excellence is.
The professors set the standard of intellectual excellence, and that rubs off on the students, and I feel like that's rubbed off on me.
You really have to push yourself. So to know that's actually a value here is pretty important because that's something I value on my own. So if my college values it as well, that means I really belong here.
To say that Elmhurst College values community, I think, is an understatement. I think Elmhurst College is community in so many ways.
Coming to Elmhurst College, a small college, it has to be about community.
It doesn't really matter who you are or where you've come from. Everyone here will just love you for who you are.
The fact that every individual and every unique person is allowed to be in an environment together and learn from each other and grow with each other.
Just the fact that it's smaller and that you form those one-on-one relationships, it encourages like creativity and questioning and all the things I wanted out of my college experience.
Social responsibility means caring for each individual as a person.
There are all these people and they're all more important than my general happiness as a single person.
You're not only trying to better yourself, but I feel like it also means it's your job that you better your community too.
Knowing that there's something larger than yourself and that you can play a part in making someone else's life better.
Taking what I learned from my family, that others come before me, and translating that into the entire world.
It's really awesome to be in a place where not only are you worrying about academics, but it's also teaching me how to be a better person.
To me, stewardship is just being responsible, really thinking about your actions.
If I'm going to say that, I believe in this philanthropy, I think we should do this, I need to follow through with my actions.
What I found coming to Elmhurst is that there are lots of people that feel the same way. So it was easy to find a group of people who were so engaged in service and so willing to help.
Kind of made me reflect on, what do I value in life? Why am I here? They really did kind of push me to the next level and make me think about that, and I think that I'm a better person for it.
Values really help shape identity. If you really don't understand your values, you're not really understanding a part of who you are.
I was more sheltered until I came here, and Elmhurst has really kind of made me step out of my comfort zone and learn more about what I want to do and what I believe in.
Places like the chaplain's office and the Niebuhr Center for Faith and Action give me safe places where I can go to discuss my faith and to discuss my values with people that I know I trust and people that I know I can count on to influence me and to lead me in the right direction.
You can never be forced out of your faith or forced into a different kind of faith as long as you're at Elmhurst, that you really are given the ability to take your pick and always have encouragement from your peers, never shunned or excluded or pressured into something else. There's always a place for you.
If you believe you're here on this earth for a reason, that's going to affect the way you live your life. That's going to affect the way you treat your academics, the way you treat your social life, the way you look at your future and the goals that you have. Those things seem like really big things, but all of that boils down to
the way you live your everyday life.
We value
Intellectual excellence.
Community.
Social responsibility.
Stewardship.
faith, meaning, and values.
I have had a great experience at Elmhurst. I'm obviously involved with the volleyball program, and it's been a really good experience for me. I would say we're pretty close because we practice 5 days a week for 2.5 hours. We're lifting, we're doing bonding things, and we're traveling on the weekends. So you're pretty much with these girls for 3 months every single day for hours. So we're all pretty close, and we rely on each other and ask each other for help.
Welcome to the cultural season at Elmhurst College. Elmhurst is a place of values and conviction. We were founded by 19th century reformers who believed in human potential, loved learning, and had standards. More than 140 years later, we still do. We still attract students and teachers who want to think for themselves and act on principles, who challenge and respect one another, who engage, serve, and celebrate our diverse, dynamic, interdependent world. A few years ago, to be clear about things, we wrote down our core values. This year, we asked some of our students what those values mean to them.
Elmhurst College is unique in so many ways.
Here we really do have values, and my professors know the values, and they push me to be those values.
Stewardship and faith and community and service, and it really does bring in kind of a level of just interaction with values that you never got before.
But as you kind of develop yourself over the years, you start to realize these values mean so much more, and you start to uncover the true meaning behind them.
You begin to see equivalencies between your life and the school, and then you discover that you're not just in a place of learning, you're also in a place of growing, you're in a place of maturity and value exactly that, core values.
Intellectual excellence means allowing our minds to grow in ways that we've never thought they could before. It means exploring those new pathways, seeing how we could do things different. It means stepping outside of our box of what we know and what we're comfortable with and taking those risks to really grow and make things better. I think that's really the core of what intellectual excellence is.
The professors set the standard of intellectual excellence, and that rubs off on the students, and I feel like that's rubbed off on me.
You really have to push yourself. So to know that's actually a value here is pretty important because that's something I value on my own. So if my college values it as well, that means I really belong here.
To say that Elmhurst College values community, I think, is an understatement. I think Elmhurst College is community in so many ways.
Coming to Elmhurst College, a small college, it has to be about community.
It doesn't really matter who you are or where you've come from. Everyone here will just love you for who you are.
The fact that
Start of the second half, Langhorse Field, 1-1 tie between Elmhurst and North Central. Luke Tanaka delighted to be on the call, bringing you all the action from Langhorse Field, this CCIW women's soccer matchup, and one that is extremely important for both teams for very different reasons. Blue Jays 0-2 in the conference. They need this win. Really, when you drop to 0-3 in a conference, it's extremely hard to go the rest of the way. This is an interesting scoring opportunity with North Central in the red going from right to left now. Elmhurst in the pink going from left to right, North Central going from right to left. Belinda Vickers, the keeper for the Blue Jays, will be the one to boot this away. But like I was saying, just a very important game for both teams. Elmhurst 0-2 in the conference really needs this win to keep themselves in any sort of discussion for the conference tournament. And North Central, on the other hand, is 2-0. And so at 2-0, to go to 3-0 in the conference, that really propels you into a discussion no matter who you've played so far. So you're at 3-0 and you play the big dogs in the conference coming up. To be already at 3-0, just getting a draw or a win from one of those big teams could mean a spot in the conference tournament for you as well. So big game for both teams. 1-1 tie. It was Jackie Belmonte with the first goal for the Blue Jays. A shot assisted by Kim Stanzak that went to her feet at about the 15 yards out, and she just drilled it from the far side towards the near post on the left side where the Blue Jays were going in the first half. But then about 10 minutes later, it was just a mess around the goal as a corner kick came in. And Kaylee Michalik was the one to put that goal home. There are a couple of North Central players converging on it, and one, Jory Palafis, even ran straight into the goal hoping to bring the ball with her, but the ball had already crossed the line. And so that's where we stand, a 1-1 deadlock. Blue Jays in the pink, going from left to right. North Central in the red, going from right to left, as this is Mary Leno on the near side. Kicking it back towards her keeper, and then a little bit of a dangerous ball. A couple of Blue Jay attackers in the area. Now three converging, looking for a place to get an outlet. Does not have an outlet and will instead have to concede possession. Brianna Small will be the one to throw it in. The throw-in is going to be half-heartedly chased by McPherson, but she already kind of knew it was going to go over the end line. And so Sighton, the North Central keeper, will be the one to boot it away. Elmhurst keeping possession here. They had the majority of the possession in the first half. Some good chances, and then, of course, the one goal. There is one chance that I'm sure Anna Gartano would like to have back. It was in the early minutes of the game. The North Central keeper, Sighton, it was a pass back to her, and I think she might have panicked a little bit. And she just tried to kick it right back to the defender, but it went straight to Gartano. Gartano open near the net, took one touch, and that was just enough time for Sighton to get back and able to get a hand on the lofted shot that Gartano took on her second touch. Offsides is the call. McPherson can't believe it. Check that, I believe that's Heimerdinger on the far side. Megan Hart was trying to get her a pass, and referee's flag was up, but the flag was up a lot further back than I would have expected. So perhaps she was offsides way before the fact, even before possibly Megan Hart got that pass away. So North Central now controlling on the far side. Sarah Gaither playing back to her defense, who then clears it up, but Brianna Small is going to beat Emily Gaither to the ball. Here's Emily Heimerdinger calling for the ball. Giving off to Brianna Small, and Heimerdinger will be the one to get this throw in. It's headed back towards Megan Hart and Shannon Pimble. Neither of them were able to get there. As North Central clears away, here's Senden battling with Megan Hart. And the throw in is given to Elmhurst. Senden was already off and running, hoping to spring a counter against the Blue Jays. And Heimerdinger unable to control that throw in, so it'll be Mary Leno the one to get us back into play. This is Shannon Pimmel chasing. More of a defensive midfielder for the Blue Jays, the senior. Number 11, 5'7", from Bolingbrook, Illinois. This is Pimmel chasing North Central player. That's Caitlin Orwick. Playing it back to her defense. Couple of Blue Jays battling for it. Heimerdinger's going to win it, and now McPherson's going to try to run down the line. Play on, says the referee. Gartano and McPherson both converging, possibly trying to wreak some havoc towards the North Central defense, but that's played well. No chance for the Blue Jays to get possession there, and another shot attempt. First half, 10 shots for Elmhurst, 4 shots for North Central, 5 on goal for the Blue Jays. All 4 of North Central shots were on goal. And one of those 4 shots found the net. One of Elmhurst's 5 shots found the net, and that's where we are now, 1 apiece, with just over 39 minutes to play in regulation. Kelly Fredrickson will pull off and allow that to skip back to Melinda Vickers. Vickers bouncing the ball once, twice, 3 times, and then boots it away. Nice give and go there by North Central, but the go, and Emily Gaither wasn't there to get the go. Gartano fighting with the defender, but unable to get possession, and North Central clears it up towards their midfield. Now trying to spring an attack here, but instead it's right to the feet of Caitlin Allen. Allen bringing it up herself, springing McPherson. McPherson's going to battle with Hannah Magera. Magera's going to be the one to win it and beats Heimerdinger and brings it up towards the midfield. O'Keefe trying to cut off Warwick, but could not do so. Now on the far side. Looks like Folk. Pass attempt. Gaither had it taken away, but then she gets it back. Gaither trying to give and go that time with her sister Sarah Gaither. Unable to do so. Elmhurst controlling on the far side. It was Gartano, but she had it taken away by a couple defenders. Oh, now here's a chance. But the ball skips a little too far for Emily Gaither. She couldn't believe it. She knew there was a good chance on that one as we check it out in the replay. The ball, I thought it was going to bounce very well for her, but it bounced straight over her. She was unable to bring it down. That's a little bit of a dangerous throw-in, but it's going to dribble all the way to Vickers, untouched. That time Sarah Gaither charging in, unable to get a foot on it, unable to control it. A little bit cool this evening here at Langhorse Field. Say low 50s. But relatively clear skies after we've had lots of rain over the last couple days. Brianna Small's header's intercepted, but it goes right to the feet of Megan Hart. She takes a shot that's blocked. Then Hart will pass it back towards O'Keefe. Her shot was blocked. Now Pimmel controlling 40 yards away from net. But this time it's going to be Gaither battling with Brianna Small. And instead it's actually Rebecca Senden, not Gaither. And Senden will be the one to commit the foul on Brianna Small as we check it out. Senden and Small just battling for the ball. They get a little tangled up here, and perhaps the feet get tangled up there. Senden was the one who fell down, but she was the one who initiated most of that contact. Allen's ball lifted into the box. O'Keefe able to get a head on it, and Seiton is there. O'Keefe's header just had a little too much air under it. Instead of it being more of a direct line towards the goal, it kind of just popped straight up into the air, and Seiton was able to win a jump ball with an Elmhurst player. So a good free kick by Allen, but Blue Jays unable to cash in with a good shot on goal. 35 minutes remaining in regulation. 10 minutes into the half as we'll have our first sub of the half. North Central's Shauna Watson, number 3, will go out. She's replaced at left back. Get you the name of that in a minute. She's on the far side currently. We'll get you a name as soon as we can. Here's Shannon Pimmel playing back to her defense and Caitlin Allen. Allen's clearing attempt is a little bit off the side of her foot and a missed North Central header, but now full head of steam for Mary Leno. She pulls up, cuts back, tries to get a pass towards the middle, and Kelly Fredrickson met Emily Gaither pretty hard, but now Senden trying to get into the box, and it's cleared away, but a corner kick will come for North Central as we check it out on the replay. Leno does well, gets the ball into the box, then a big collision towards the goal as Fredrickson was the one to win the header. Corner kick for North Central here on the near side. And we'll stop the clock as I believe Kelly Fredrickson on the far side is getting attended to by the trainer. little bit of a stoppage in play, and while we have this stoppage, we'll take a second, check out the Elmhurst schedule so far this season. They started by hosting a couple games here at Langhorse Field. They had a 3-game homestand to start the season. Dominican, Bethel, and Hope came here to Elmhurst. They went 2-1 in that stretch. All the games were decided 1-0. They beat Bethel and Hope 1-0. Lost to Dominican in the season opener 1-0, and then rattled off a couple more wins. Benedictine on the road, then Monmouth, as we're now back into play. That ball, corner kick, is going to curve high and wide. It ended up hitting the crossbar of the football uprights, not of the soccer goal, as it went over the goal, and Vickers will have a chance to boot it away. Continuing on with the Elmhurst schedule, they won 2 of their next 3, lost to Marion 4-2 on the road before beating Greenville in overtime, and then MSOE 3-1. Megan McPherson had 2 goals in that win over MSOE, but then three straight losses coming into this game for the Blue Jays. Rhodes College, they went there and lost 4-1 in Memphis, and went to Wheaton College, one of the top-ranked teams in the country, ended up losing there, and then lost here to Augie 3-0 on last Saturday. So it'll be a huge win for the Blue Jays. Right now a tie game, 1-1, 2 first-half goals, 1 for each team. Elmhurst on the board first. It was Belmonte from Stanzak, as this ball is lifted dangerously into the box. It was Belmonte, and it will just be cleared by Folk. Smart play by Folk, just couldn't quite control it, just ended up kicking it about as far as she could away from the goal. And Jackie Belmonte will wait for a ball at the far corner flag. Gartano, O'Keefe together towards the box. McPherson on the line. Heimerdinger will run in from the left part of your screen. As here comes the kick. It's high and it's a good one. Angelo got a head on it but couldn't control it. Now a shot is taken and it's wide into the side netting. Check it out on the replay. Ball was lifted well into the box but was a little far away from the goal. Angelo was able to head it. And then the shot was taken on the far side. I believe it was Heimerdinger. If not Heimerdinger, then it was Belmonte coming in from her corner from the corner kick that she just took. So now North Central controlling in their own half. Just over 31 minutes to play in regulation, still tied at 1. If we do have overtime, it'll be 2 5-minute segments. If you're still tied after those 2, we will call it a tie. Check that, 2 10-minute overtime periods. As this is Emily Heimerdinger taking a shot that squirts well wide. So if it is tied after regulation, we have 2 10-minute overtime periods. But we still have 30 minutes of regulation to get through before we start thinking about that. As this is Gaither on the near side, looking up for Shendon, but she couldn't quite get it to her. Brianna Small up towards Heimerdinger, couldn't quite find her. North Central controlling. Leno looking up for Sendon, but I'm unable to find her. Here's Heimerdinger playing back to her defense and then booted straight back up. Now Gartano will be the one to control it. Gartano looking for Belmonte, couldn't find her, as the Blue Jays have gone to more of a 3-forward look here with Gartano, McPherson, and Belmonte all in the game at the same time. This is Belmonte booting it up, but there's no Elmhurst player in the vicinity, and Seiton will be the one to gobble it up, the keeper wearing the purple today. Brianna Small looking for Courtney, or excuse me, that was Shannon Pimmel. Couldn't quite find her. Here's Gay. They're battling with Caitlin Allen. Allen does well to use her head there. Take it off the line that Gaither was running. But North Central controlling more towards the middle of the field. Lots of play in the middle third of the field thus far in this second half. Throw into the near side will be Leno. Here's Emily Heimerdinger getting past one defender. Heimerdinger has lots of options to pass to. Defenders start converging, and she just ends up flipping it towards McPherson, but it wasn't quite accurate enough. Tries to get it back, but it's cleared well by a North Central defender. Now North Central looking to counter. Springing up is now Gaither's got it. Snedden will be the one to take a shot. It's deflected and then easily into the hands of Melinda Vickers. I believe they called a handball on the deflection. It was kind of a confusing call because I didn't hear a whistle initially, but instead, it looks like it will indeed be a free kick. Whatever it is, it'll be a free kick. Barely outside of the box. So that was maybe a yard or two away from a penalty kick for North Central, but Rebecca Snedden winds up and takes it. It gets deflected. Now another shot is going to go just high. Caitlin Orwick was the one to take that one. The 5'7" junior had a chance at it. As we'll check it out on the replay. Drilled it right into the wall, and then the ball landed right at the feet of Orwick. She had a good look at it with the wall to her right, but was unable to put it on frame, instead blasting it over the bar. And so here are the Blue Jays and Vickers waiting for the whistle to sound so she can get us back into play. Ball squirts all the way down the field. And Amy Gerald now playing in the central defender role. Had to play it to the side. It was eventually won by the Blue Jays on the near side. Brianna Small will be the one to take a throw in. Ball retrieved nicely by athletic director Paul Crone on the left side. Jackie Belmonte lets it go a little too far and over the end line. Looking for McPherson on the pass, but the call was made before the pass was taken as the ball went over the near sideline. Headed down by Small, then lifted and once again headed by Small, and then eventually controlled by her once again. Here's Shannon Pimmel looking towards the far side. Good job by O'Keefe to bring that ball down. Now trying to spring McPherson. McPherson's going to battle with Gerald on the far side, but Gerald is going to be the one to get the better of that matchup. Both players calling for the throw-in. Gerald can't believe they gave it to the Blue Jays, but Elmhurst will have it. Kelly Fredrickson will be the one to take it, left back for the Blue Jays on the far side. Elmhurst sub will come in first. And Gartano will head out. She'll be replaced by Megan Hart. Ball lifted in the box. Hart is the recipient of it, but she was unable to keep it in play. And Nikki Seiton, the sophomore goalkeeper for North Central, will be the one to get us back in play in just a second. Last year in Naperville, Blue Jays won in overtime against North Central. North Central got on the board first and held the lead until the 84th minute And that's when Anna Garitano equalized. And then in the first overtime period, 6 minutes in, it was unassisted Kat Waugh to win the game for the Blue Jays. And that was the CCIW opener for both teams last year. Courtney O'Keefe got to the ball first. The ball is drilled very high by Fredrickson and over the bar. With just under 24 minutes to go as we check it out on the replay. Just a couple of players collided there, and then Fredrickson just decided to try to put one on frame from about 35 yards out. That's kicked it high and wide. Seiton waiting for the signal to put it back into play. Controlled by North Central near midfield, but then given right back as Stanzik was the one to take it away. Here's Belmonte battling with a defender, and now Bree Girardi will try to put some pressure on Leno. Kaylin Orwick looking to the far side, and Folk, who is looking for Emily Gaither. She finds her. Gaither trying to get around a couple defenders. Does. It puts it right to Snedden, who is unable to put it on net. What a great chance for North Central there. It was number 8, Snedden, for North Central, who looked like she had a chance to put the ball on frame just by touching it. And it went right by her, as this shot is gobbled up by Vickers. And wow, what a great chance for North Central to take the lead there. It was a beautiful ball by Emily Gaither, looking for her second assist of the season on that cross. But Snedden was defended well, just couldn't quite get the touch that she needed. And it went dangerously across the frame. But no goal for North Central. Still tied up at 1 here at Langhorse Field. First goal, Jackie Belmonte for the Blue Jays. Then Kaylee Michalik was the one to equalize for North Central just about 10 minutes later. First real good chance for either team of this second half. That one's going to go all the way back to Seiton and into her waiting arms, where she'll pick it up and then boot it back downfield. North Central player falls down, but then Elmhurst gives it right back, and it's deflected back upfield. Here's Fredrickson playing it back to Vickers, and Vickers will boot it as far as she can, trying to clear it away from net. Megan Hart. Megan Hart will win that, trying to look for fellow Megan McPherson. Unable to beat Folk to the ball was McPherson, but Folk did concede a throw-in on the far side. Kelly Fredrickson running up for her left back position to take this throw-in. 1 goal apiece, just over 20 minutes to play. We're over halfway through the second half. 20 minutes to play in regulation. Brianna Small's clearing attempt wasn't quite out, but Alyssa Angelo was there to help her out. Now this is Angelo controlling a little bit far from her left center back position. Upfield, Folk will take the throw-in on the far side for the Cardinals. Cardinals at 5-3-2 on the season. 2-0 in the CCIW. After a couple wins over Carthage, 2-1, they won in overtime in that one, as Emily Gaither, number 10, was the one to score both goals for North Central, including the 98th minute game winner in overtime. North Central beat North Park last Saturday to move to 2-0, as this is Snedden, and I believe that's Gaither. It is. Gaither with Snedden to her left, but unable to get it to her. Trying to put on some moves is another North Central player, trying to get by a couple of defenders, getting by them, and then taking a shot that is deflected, and North Central will have a corner on the far side. We're going to stop the clock. As the referee will have a quick chat with the North Central coach on the far side. Not sure what happened over there, but we'll restart as Folk puts it back into play for the Cardinals. It's a high sweeping kick intended for Gaither, but couldn't quite get it there. It was over Gaither's head. She was in prime position for the header at the far post, but couldn't quite connect on the quarter kick, and so the Blue Jays and Brianna Small will have a throw in on the near side, looking for Megan Hart and some possession. Cardinals have had the better of the chances in this second half. Hasn't been very many, but there was one very good one that went awry for the Cardinals. It was well played by Gaither, who was able to beat her defender. No offsides on this play. McPherson, is she going to be able to beat the ball? Nope, she is offsides. It was just late. Suppose the referee may have thought it was going to go easily over the end line, but when it didn't, he had to call the offsides. So that chance for North Central earlier in the half, Gaither was the one to spring it. She did a good job getting around a couple of defenders, put the ball dangerously across frame, and Rebecca Snedden was right there. But good defending by the Blue Jays, and perhaps Snedden was unable to get a foot on it and direct it towards goal. And so we remain deadlocked at 1. 17:45 to play in regulation. Courtney O'Keefe had her clearing attempt blocked by Caitlin Orwick. And Orwick's the one to win the free kick for North Central. Right around midfield on the far side. Folk will take it, boot it far upfield, but it's headed down, and now Bree Girardi will control for the Blue Jays. That pass was too far for Kelly Fredrickson in control, so she's chasing and chasing towards the far corner flag. It stayed in and then deflected off a North Central player, and Fredrickson will throw it in. Couple of subs. Mary Gregnani back into the game. She'll replace Courtney O'Keefe. For North Central, Kaylee Michalak, is back in. She's the goal scorer for North Central. Scoring it off, really one of those where you just try to jam it into the net when it's amongst traffic, and she did so to equalize for North Central in the first half. That was Belmonte. She lost her pass. Carly Jo Hitz was there to pick it off. North Central looking for the go-ahead goal here. Noella Reyes, she had 3 assists against North Park on Saturday. Holding and moving towards the near side. Now looking for Snedden, and she couldn't quite connect with her. It was a good run by Reyes, just couldn't quite connect on the finishing touch. So Melinda Vickers will put us back into play, kicking from left to right. Header is won by North Central, but it's back upfield. Belmonte trying to spring McPherson, couldn't quite do it. Reyes running after the ball for North Central will keep it in play, but Caitlin Allen is the one to get it there. Mari Gregnani on the far side. Lost it into the Elmhurst bench. But the Blue Jays retain possession. Fredrickson looking for Mari Gregnani, and again, one off a North Central defender, just inching it up the field. 15 minutes now left in regulation. Looking for a target. Megan Hart looking for McPherson. McPherson brings it down. There's a whistle and an offside call on the Blue Jays. Bree Girardi with the ball near midfield. Gives it away to Reyes. Reyes for Carly Jo Hitz, battling with Girardi. Hitz looking up. Just booting it up towards Kaylin Allen, and Melinda Vickers will call off everybody as a couple of North Central players were converging. Smart play by Vickers to get off her line and up to that ball. Blue Jays will hit the road after this contest. After playing their first 2 CCIW games at home, they will travel to Millikin University this Saturday to face the Big Blue at 1 o'clock down in Decatur. After that, they have another road game at IIT. And their next home game will be 10 days from Saturday, 2 weeks from today, here at Langhorse Field on October 25th against Illinois Wesleyan. As we mentioned before, Blue Jays looking for their first CCIW win. Cardinals looking to move to 3-0 in the conference. A couple of players battling for it. Now it's both Megans for the Blue Jays, McPherson and Hart, but it's eventually won by a North Central player and then controlled by the North Central defense. This is Folk chasing after a arid pass and able to control it. Here's Reyes. Her touch goes over the far sideline, and now 3 Blue Jays will come into the game. Some fresh legs for Elmhurst as Megan McPherson will come off. She's replaced by Anna Gartano. Emily Heimerdinger back into the game. She'll replace Bree Girardi, and then one more substitution, I believe, for the Blue Jays in the back row. There's Leno on the near side with lots of space. Leno has Sneddon straight up the line. Will try to get it to her and does. Nice play by Leno to just get a touch on that and get enough of it to get it to Rebecca Sneddon, but then it's one. Anna Gartano won it from Carly Jo Hitz. And the Blue Jays end up with a free kick from about midfield. Caitlin Allen will quickly take it, play towards the near side of Brianna Small, who's calling for some players to get into the box. Small will lift one towards that area. Intended for Megan Hart, broken up by a North Central defender, but Shannon Pimmel is there, and her pass is just a little bit wide. Losing possession are the Blue Jays as another couple of subs, one for North Central, one for Elmhurst. Mari Gregnani will go off, replaced by Courtney O'Keefe. And for North Central, Emily Gaither back in the game. Rebecca Sneddon will be the one to head off. Sneddon looks like she's limping just a little bit. We'll see if she comes back into this game. She is tied for the lead in points on the team with 11. It's been her and Gaither the main attacking threats for North Central in this game. So we'll see if possibly that's an injury and if that affects her ability to play in the last 10 minutes of this contest. Leno has it taken away by Hart. Courtney O'Keefe. Ball deflects off one of the North Central players and to the feet of Reyes, who will just boot it straight upfield. Looking for Gaither. But the whistle is blown. And I believe offsides is the call, either that or a handball. Either way, it's a free kick for the Blue Jays. Caitlin Allen starts it quick again, and it's Fredrickson on the far side to O'Keefe. Now O'Keefe trying to spring Jackie Belmonte, but could not do so. Pass was a little too far for Belmonte to control it, and Seiton will be the one to end up with the ball. One apiece. Under 10 minutes to play now in regulation. Not a lot of chances in this second half. Elmer still looking for their first good chance of the half. North Central had one. but we've been tied at 1 since halftime. Shannon Pimmel now. Good passing to Megan Hart, looking to spring the offense. Emily Heimerdinger, can she get to the ball? Yes, she can, but she can't do much with it. Anna Gartano sprinting towards the ball, but Seiton will clear it away. Brianna Small taking this throw in, perhaps lifting it into the box. This time looking for Hart. Perhaps this pass will go into the box, and it will. It's going to be a shot, actually, and it's going to be saved by Seiton. That ball just hung in the air forever, it seemed, and we'll check it out on the replay. It's just a lofted ball towards the net, and one, Seiton wasn't playing too far off her line, and that was smart as that ball was on target. Not very dangerous if played well, and it was played well by Seiton. Under 8.5 minutes left in regulation, still tied at 1. Anna Gartano flipping it for Emily Heimerdinger. Will she beat Leno to the ball? Looks like Leno will win that battle, but still not done yet. And then eventually throw-in is conceded by Heimerdinger. Leno will be the one to take it. Megan Hart, number 9's battling on the near side, but now Reyes is the one with it. Small to Pimmel. Pimmel looking to spring the offense, but that one had a little too much draw on it for Jackie Belmonte. Megan Hart. Back to Pimmel. Midfielders playing a little bit of pass, tried to get to Emily Heimerdinger, couldn't do so as Leno was one that intercepted again. Leno's been all over the defensive half for North Central thus far in this game. Anna Gartano fighting with Leno for the ball, and Anna Gartano runs right by it as Leno just stopped it and did well to do so. Heimerdinger is held, and that's going to be a stoppage in play. I believe we're going to get our first card of the game, and it is. I believe it's 7 who was the one. Let's check it out on the replay. It was one by Heimerdinger here, and then it was number 7, Hannah Magera, who basically just grabbed the arm of Heimerdinger, making sure that she couldn't get advanced with the ball. And so the free kick is conceded, the yellow card is given, and Shannon Pimmel is going to be the one to take it. 4 Blue Jays to the left part of the box, 2 towards the near part. There's going to be some crisscross action. The ball is towards Seiton, and Seiton's just going to be able to get it. 4 Blue Jays converging on the ball, but nobody could get any sort of touch on it as it went straight towards Seiton. Perhaps the best scoring opportunity for the Blue Jays in this second half, was that free kick right there. Now with ticking down under 7 minutes to go. And now we're going to stop it again, and that's a yellow card on the coach. That's their assistant. I believe that's Paul Box, the assistant coach, who I'm guessing has been in the ear of the referee this whole time. The referee did go over to talk to him earlier in the second half, and stop play for that. That's 2 straight yellow cards on North Central. First one on Hannah Magera, the defender, and now one on the coaching staff. Referee's just going to drop the free ball. And the clock is restarted. About 6.5 minutes to play. After all the yellow card craziness, we're back in action. That one's going to come over the near sideline, and Brianna Small will have a throw in deep in her own defensive half. North Central perhaps looking to spring a counterattack off one of these plays if they can get the right touch on it. Problem hasn't been swinging the ball into the box for both these teams. It's just been the final touch. Trying to get that final finishing touch to score. As that's going to be swept well by Caitlin Allen, doing her job as the last line of defense for the Blue Jays. And now Courtney O'Keefe looking for Megan Hart. Is Hart going to be able to get to the ball? No, she is not. Pass was a little too far, and it'll be a throw in for North Central instead with now under 6 minutes to play. Heimerdinger does well to hit that off Reyes. Check that, that's Sarah Gaither. Ball headed around, still in the air, finally comes down. Small didn't know where it was. Now this is Reyes with the ball battling with Shannon Pimmel. Reyes knocks Pimmel off the ball, wins the throw-in. Gaither knocks Fredrickson off the ball, but Fredrickson's going to be called for the foul, and North Central will have a chance to put the ball back in play. 40 yards out, and it'll be taken short. Here's a long shot that's going to go high and wide of the goal. Taken by Kaylin Orwick. A little bit of a hasty opportunity. Perhaps one she could have done more with if she held it for a couple more touches. Either way, Melinda Vickers will kick from left to right with 4.5 minutes remaining. Still tied at 1. The two 10-minute overtime periods with a golden goal scenario if these next 4 minutes and 20 seconds go scoreless. Here's Reyes, dribbling towards the middle. Reyes will take a shot. It's blocked by Allen. Now Courtney O'Keefe looking to spring the counter. It's Jackie Belmonte, but Belmonte's not going to be able to control that one. O'Keefe wins that header and puts it to Belmonte, but that touch was a little too far, and Gerald was the one to take it. North Central will have the throw-in. It's Folk right back on the far side. Ticking now, almost 3.5 minutes to play. Caitlin Allen up towards the middle, and Emily Heimerdinger. A couple players battling for it. Heimerdinger will be the one to get it, but then well played. Hannah McGarrah helping out her fellow defenders who missed on that one. Now Brianna Small. Off a couple of legs, and Anna Gartano wins the throw-in. Brianna Small again with the throw-in, looking for Megan Hart. Hart hitting it up towards Gartano. Gartano might have a chance for a shot here, and she is not. Well played by the defender, Amy Gerald, to get in front of Gartano, make sure she was unable to get a shot away. Foul called, free kick for the Blue Jays, ticking under 3 minutes to go in regulation. Heimerdinger's over there, Small is over there. Looks like Heimerdinger's going to be the one to take this one. It's an awkward angle, but if you could put it across frame, maybe there's a chance to get it to Belmonte on the near side. Belmonte shielding the keeper, Sighton. Sighton looking to go out and get it. It's off the head, perhaps of an Elmhurst player, perhaps a North Central player. We'll check it out on the replay, see who it could have went off of. Looks like it went off of Courtney O'Keefe, and she knew she was upset as soon as she hit it. She didn't quite get enough on it to put it on frame. It's another good chance to swing the ball in for the Blue Jays, but just unable to get that last touch to put it into the net. And offsides is called. Belmonte looked like she had something promising. But now with under 2 minutes to play, still tied at 1 after the offsides call. North Central now with a good opportunity. 2-on-1. Gaither takes a shot, and I don't think she needed to take it that quickly. She had a lot of time as we check it out on the replay. 3 North Central players, just 1 Elmhurst defender in the area. If she takes that touch, holds, and then passes to her left, it's a wide open shot for her teammate and perhaps the game-winning goal with under 2 minutes to play. Instead, we're still deadlocked at 1, now ticking close to 1 minute to play. Vickers boots it away with exactly 1 minute remaining. Kelly Fredrickson upfield, almost sprung Gartano. Now O'Keefe looking for Belmonte. First touch wasn't great. The second touch was, as it's cleared effectively by the North Central defense. Now under 40 seconds remaining in regulation. 1-1 tie. Ball trying to be lifted into the box, blocked by North Central. Shannon Pimmel to the near side and Small. Small trying to put one into the box. Bunch of Elmhurst players in the vicinity. None of them can control it, and Leno will kick it back upfield. Now taking under 20 seconds remaining, possibly one last gas for North Central to put the game-winning goal in. Could they do so? Emily Gaither? No, it's picked off by Kaylin Allen, and with under 10 seconds left, that is going to be regulation, and we are going to go to overtime. So we'll be back in 5 minutes. No scoring in the second half. First overtime period coming up next. Two 10-minute overtime periods on BlueJayTV.com.
Elmhurst College is unique in so many ways.
Here we really do have values, and my professors know the values, and they push me to be those values.
Stewardship and faith and community and service, and it really does bring in kind of a level of just interaction with values that you never got before.
As you kind of develop yourself over the years, you start to realize these values mean so much more, and you start to uncover the true meaning behind them.
You begin to see equivalencies between your life and the school, and then you discover that you're not just in a place of learning, you're also in a place of growing, you're in a place of maturity and value exactly that, core values.
Intellectual excellence means allowing our minds to grow in ways that we've never thought they could before. It means exploring those new pathways, seeing how we could do things different. It means stepping outside of our box of what we know and what we're comfortable with and taking those risks to really grow and make things better. I think that's really the core of what intellectual excellence is.
The professors set the standard of intellectual excellence, and that rubs off on the students, and I feel like that's rubbed off on me.
You really have to push yourself. So to know that's actually a value here is pretty important, because that's something I value on my own. So if my college values it as well, that means I really belong here.
To say that Elmhurst College values community, I think, is an understatement. I think Elmhurst College is community in so many ways.
Coming to Elmhurst College, a small college, it has to be about community.
It doesn't really matter who you are or where you've come from. Everyone here will just love you for who you are.
The fact that every individual and every unique person is allowed to be in an environment together and learn from each other and grow with each other.
Just the fact that it's smaller and that you form those one-on-one relationships, it encourages like creativity and questioning and all the things I wanted out of my college experience.
Social responsibility means caring for each individual as a person.
There are all these people, and they're all more important than my general happiness as a single person.
You're not only trying to better yourself, but I feel like it also means it's your job that you better your community too.
Knowing that there's something larger than yourself and that you can play a part in making someone else's life better.
Taking what I learned from my family, that others come before me, and translating that into the entire world.
It's really awesome to be in a place where not only are you worrying about academics, but it's also teaching me how to be a better person.
To me, stewardship is just being responsible, really thinking about your actions.
If I'm going to say that, I believe in this philanthropy, I think we should do this, I need to follow through with my actions.
What I found coming to Elmhurst is that there are lots of people that feel the same way. So it was easy to find a group of people who were so engaged in service and so willing to help.
Kind of made me reflect on, what do I value in life? Why am I here? They really did kind of push me to the next level and make me think about that, and I think that I'm a better person for it.
Values really help shape identity. If you really don't understand your values, you're not really understanding a part of who you are.
I was more sheltered until I came here, and Elmhurst has really kind of made me step out of my comfort zone and learn more about like what I want to do and what I believe in.
Places like the chaplain's office and the Niebuhr Center for Faith and Action give me safe places where I can go to discuss my faith and to discuss my values with people that I know I trust and people that I know I can count on to influence me and to lead me in the right direction.
You can never be forced out of your faith or forced into a different kind of faith as long as you're at Elmhurst, that you really are given the ability to take your pick and always have encouragement from your peers, never shunned or excluded.
Back for the start of the first overtime period. 2 10-minute overtimes, but it's a golden goal scenario. Either team scores. One team goes home happy, one team doesn't. My name's Luke Tanaka, and I'm glad to bring you all the action of the 2 overtime periods from Langhorse Field on the campus of Elmhurst College. North Central 1, Elmhurst 1. Elmhurst scored first. Jackie Belmonte, first half goal. Then 10 minutes later, North Central equalized with Kaylee Michalik as she forced one in, cleaning up the garbage around the net as the ball was just hanging out inside the box. She put it away. Belmonte's strike was a little further out, is about 25 yards out. And now we are all knotted up at 1, heading to overtime. As we mentioned, 2 10-minute overtime periods. If we're still tied after those 20 minutes, will be officially called a draw. And Gartano battling. O'Keefe tells her to go forward. Actually, I think he was pointing at McPherson. Couldn't quite get the pass threaded through, but now Megan Hart is there. Here's McPherson. McPherson, 5 goals on the season, leads the Blue Jays. Emily Heimerdinger looking for Anna Gartano, but her pass was shanked to the right. And Nikki Seiton will have a goal kick. A mist is starting to fall here at Langhorse Field. It's been raining off and on for the last 2 days. Now that mist is starting to find the Elmhurst area once again. It'll perhaps make the field a little slipperier. Shouldn't be a problem with footing, but it could be a problem if the ball starts skipping a little quicker than the players might intend. Gartano up the near side. Gartano putting one into the box. It's flicked away by the North Central defender, but now it's to Megan Hart. Megan Hart battling with a couple of players. Now Shannon Pimmel, but the North Central does well to clear it away. Caitlin Allen, last line of defense for the Blue Jays, gets it upfield. Here's Brianna Small on the near side, looking for Anna Gartano. Couple of players in the box. Megan Hart seems open, but instead they're going to go further for McPherson, who's unable to bring it down by her feet. And so the Elmhurst will reset back with Small on the near side, once again lifting it up towards the center, but this time headed away by North Central, just to be sent right back by Fredrickson, and then gobbled up by Seiton, the keeper. Elmhurst in the pink, going from left to right. North Central in the red and white, going from right to left. 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first overtime period. Not very many chances in that second half. Couple of decent chances for both teams. No scoring in that second half as both goals came in the first half. Now here's the first chance for North Central in the overtime period, but it's cleared away nicely by Allen. High ball, Anna Gartano couldn't quite control it. Instead, it'll be Leno getting the ball, but then Gartano takes it away. Hart looking to spring the Elmhurst attacker. Couldn't quite do so. Now a full race for the ball, and it's going to go out. Sliding on the track was Hannah Magera, and Anna Gartano winning the throw-in for the Blue Jays. Brianna Small with another chance to throw into the box. Will she do so? Yes, she will. It's to Megan Hart, who couldn't quite turn around and take a shot. Now Heimerdinger will try, and it's blocked and brought back out towards Reyes. Reyes with a nice move to escape Small, but now has to face her once again. Reyes on the near side with the quick feet. Pass intercepted by Angelo. And then brought up towards Megan Hart. Anna Gartano will not quite get to that one as Seiton is off her line to grab it. Now with 5 minutes to play, halfway through the first overtime period. $18 shots for the Blue Jays, 11 for North Central. 8 on goal for Elmhurst, 5 on goal for North Central. 7 saves for Seiton, and 4 saves for Elmhurst keeper Melinda Vickers. Emily Gaither dangerously into the box, and then Gaither offsides either way. Looked like a promising opportunity until Gaither was offsides. She was able to get a foot on that one, couldn't aim it towards goal on the cross. And so Melinda Vickers boots it away. Elmer's trying to control here. Pimmel getting it up towards Gartano. Nice moves by Gartano, trying to spring Megan McPherson. Folk, instead of playing it back to Seiton, will opt to concede the throw-in for the Blue Jays. It will come from the far side, and Fredrickson high in the air towards Courtney O'Keefe, I believe. Now the counter is on for North Central, but Reyes' pass is way too far for Emily Gaither. Vickers' clearing attempt is very high. Small and Reyes battling for it. It's going to go off the back of Small, and Leno will throw it back in for North Central. Now just over 3 minutes to play in the first overtime period. That was Carly Jo Hitz passing it over to the far side. Kaylee Michalak, the goal scorer, had a head on that one but couldn't quite follow up her own attempt. Emily Gaither, though, also converging on that one. Vickers bounces it not once but twice and then boots it away. Megan Hart battling, unable to get it out of the grasp of Caitlin Orwick. Now putting it into the box, nicely headed away by Caitlin Allen. That could have been dangerous had it gotten past Allen. And Emily Heimerdinger looking for Megan McPherson. It's going to be a full race to the ball. McPherson, is she going to win it? No, she's not. Nice play by the North Central defense there to keep McPherson away from the net as the mist starts to turn into a bit of a rain here at Langhorse Field. Amy Gerald has been very solid for the North Central defense really all game. She moved toward more into the center back position after the second half, after playing more on the side, and has done a very good job in the middle for North Central. That one of her better plays there against Megan McPherson, limiting that attempt. Now under 2 minutes to play in the first overtime period. Megan Hart battling, but it's won by Hannah Megara. North Central controlling with just over a minute to play in the first overtime. Here's Gartano. Brianna Small directing traffic, trying to get Gartano to move down the line. She is. Megara will get there first. Gartano will win it though. Gartano looking to put it into the box, cannot, and a foul is going to be called. I'm not sure what the referee saw, neither does Megara. She is beside herself. Remember that Megara doesn't want to chirp too loud, as she does have a yellow card already in this game. But now with just over 30 seconds to play, Brianna Small will take her time to try to see if this isn't the last chance of the first overtime period. Here comes Small with the ball into the box. Seiton gets a fist on it and gets it away. Nice play by Nikki Seiton, the goalkeeper for North Central. One of the better plays she's had to make in this game. Now she'll be the one to take this one with nobody around, and with 15 seconds left in the first overtime. The waning seconds of this first overtime. So after one overtime, we're still tied at 1. Very quick break. Right back.
I have had a great experience at Elmhurst. I'm obviously involved with the volleyball program, and it's been a really good experience for me. I would say we're pretty close because we practice 5 days a week for 2.5 hours. We're lifting, we're doing bonding things, and we're traveling on the weekends. So you're pretty much with these girls for 3 months every single day for hours. So we're all pretty close, and we rely on each other and ask each other for help.
Welcome to the cultural season at Elmhurst College. Elmhurst is a place of values and conviction. We were founded by 19th century reformers who believed in human potential, loved learning, and had standards. More than 140 years later, we still do. We still attract students and teachers who want to think for themselves and act on principles, who challenge and respect one another, who engage, serve, and celebrate our diverse, dynamic, interdependent world. A few years ago, to be clear about things, we wrote down our core values. This year, we asked some of our students what those values mean to them.
Elmhurst College is unique in so many ways.
Here we really do have values, and my professors know the values, and they push me to be those values.
Stewardship and faith and community and service, and it really does bring in kind of a level of just interaction with values that you never got before.
But as you kind of develop yourself over the years, you start to realize these values mean so much more, and you start to uncover the true meaning behind them.
You begin to see equivalencies between your life and the school, and then you discover that you're not just in a place of learning, you're also in a place of growing, you're in a place of maturity and value exactly that, core values.
Intellectual excellence means allowing our minds to grow in ways that we've never thought they could before. It means exploring those new pathways, seeing how we could do things different. It means stepping outside of our box of what we know and what we're comfortable with and taking those risks to really grow and make things better. I think that's really the core of what intellectual excellence is.
The professors set the standard of intellectual excellence, and that rubs off on the students, and I feel like that's rubbed off on me.
You really have to push yourself. So to know that's actually a value here is pretty important because that's something I value on my own. So if my college values it as well, that means I really belong here.
To say that Elmhurst College values community, I think, is an understatement. I think Elmhurst College is community in so many ways.
Coming to Elmhurst College, a small college, it has to be about community.
It doesn't really matter who you are or where you've come from. Everyone here will just love you for who you are.
The fact that every individual and every unique person is allowed to be in an environment together and learn from each other and grow with each other.
Just the fact that it's smaller and that you form those one-on-one relationships, it encourages like creativity and questioning and all the things I wanted out of my college experience.
Back for the start of overtime number 2 here at Langhorse Field. Luke Tanaka excited to bring you the second half of overtime. 10 more minutes of soccer. Golden goal scenario. If neither team scores, it will be decided as a tie. North Central in the red. Going from left to right. Elmhurst in the pink, going from right to left. Here's Shannon Pimmel. Upfield looking for Megan McPherson, who couldn't quite control it. Elmhurst back to their starting lineup, it seems. 2 forwards, 3 attacking midfielders. Then Shannon Pimmel and the 4 defenders, and Melinda Vickers. But here's North Central with possibly a promising opportunity. Holding it on the far side is Carly Jo Hitz, looking to clear it into the box, but it's instead swept away by Brianna Small. Ball rattles around and into the box now. Still rattling around a couple players. Dangerously for the Blue Jays anyway. Now it'll be a corner kick. Reyes will be the one to take it on the far side. This number 6, the freshman from Aurora. Quickly, North Central looking to take it to get the Elmhurst defense off guard, but a nice play by Alyssa Angelo to clear, but not all the way out. This shot by Nicolette Folk is way too high. And Elmhurst will be able to settle it down. Just over 8 minutes to play in the contest. Golden goal scenario, or we don't score, they end up tying. Megan McPherson battling on the far side with the defense. Now it's played to Hannah McGarra and towards the near side, and Folk. Folk tried to spring Reyes, could not do so as Caitlin Allen was there, but her clearing attempt wasn't quite convincing. But O'Keefe's was, and it'll go all the way back down to Sighton on the left side. Brianna Small wins the throw-in on the far side. Trying to direct traffic. Coming back for it was Jackie Belmonte. Heimerdinger battling with it, wins another throw-in. Here's Small with getting the ball quickly, now under 7 minutes to play in the game. Small, similar set they tried to run in the first overtime period. McPherson hits it towards the box. Megan Hart was there. Here's Megan McPherson taking a shot that's well wide. So another shot as we look at the replay from the Blue Jays goes off target, and seems that Sighton didn't wait for the referee's whistle, and so instead she'll have to redo the kick. As the ball gets thrown in from the bench, Sighton will place it back down and kick it away once again with just over 6 minutes to play in the game. Remember, this is a very important game for both teams. Elmhurst at 0-2 in the conference really needs that first win for their confidence, as now we get a stoppage in play and another yellow card. Number 10, Emily Gaither's going to be the one to get the yellow card for her challenge on Alyssa Angelo, and third yellow card of the day for North Central. One was charged to the defender, Hannah McGarra. One was charged to the assistant coach, and then one now charged to Emily Gaither. Brianna Small battling through a couple of defenders, but couldn't quite save it on the far sideline, and so it'll be another throw-in for North Central. Just about halfway through the second overtime period. 5 more minutes. Golden goal scenario, and nobody scores. We will call it a tie. A tie for North Central is probably not the end of the world for them. They're 2-0 in the conference. So a tie still keeps them undefeated. although a win over Elmhurst would be much more convincing in their hopes of making the CCIW tournament. Elmhurst really needs that win. Get that confidence going, as here's here's something here. McPherson, is she going to be able to win to the ball? No, she's not. It's going to be Sighton there to get it. I look very promising on the counterattack, but the pass was a little too far, and McPherson couldn't quite catch up with it. Now here's Belmonte. This is again promising. Belmonte has McPherson in the box, takes a shot, and it's saved by Sighton. As the mist falls, another good opportunity for the Blue Jays, and Sighton was just able to get enough on it. So you check it out on the replay. Sighton able to get both of her hands on it and clear it over the bar, but definitely the best scoring opportunity I've seen from the Blue Jays since the first half. Corner will go to the near side. Excuse me, it's thrown into the box. Nobody's there to clean it up, but Pimmel might get there. No, she won't. Good clearing attempt by North Central. 3.5 minutes left, and now Belmonte just swinging one towards the box. It bounces right up into the arms of Sighton. Some good offense for the Blue Jays, but unable to get the final touch to put it in the net. But perhaps another opportunity here with McPherson streaking up the far sideline. Here's McPherson putting it into the box. Hart was her intended target, but it was cleared well by Caitlin Orwick. Orwick listed as a forward, but has played either on the defense or as this ball is swung into the box. It's headed on by O'Keefe, and she scores! Courtney O'Keefe with the game winner. And the dog pile is on. The Blue Jays win on a golden goal by Courtney O'Keefe. Ball was lifted into the box, right to the head of O'Keefe, who put the header to the far post and right past the goalkeeper Sighton, and the Blue Jays win. What a huge win for Elmhurst. First win of the CCIW season. They moved to 1-2 in the conference. North Central down to 2-1 in the conference. Blue Jays improved to 7-5, and what a great way to end your 3-game losing streak with a golden goal. Courtney O'Keefe on the long cross. Some final stats. Elmhurst, 23 shots to North Central's 12. 11 of the Elmhurst 23 shots were on goal. 5 shots on goal for North Central. 4 saves for Belinda Vickers, 9 for Sighton of North Central. 3 yellow cards for North Central, but the scoreline reads 2-1, and the Blue Jays head home happy. And I'd like to thank everybody who contributed to the broadcast. Kevin Jude, the executive producer, and doing the stats to my left. Glenn Lilcheberg on my right, doing the camera and the technical directing. I'm Luke Tanaka saying so long from Langhorse Field. Your final score, Elmhurst 2, North Central 1. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We know you enjoyed the result. We'll see you next time on BlueJayTV.com.